Class trial. Let's see what fate has in store for us tonight. Which will you compare the handwriting on the note and the costume instructions? I mean, it's the same handwriting, or it looks the same from like the glimpses I had of it. And the thing is, I know it's not Yasahiro's handwriting, because we've seen examples of Yasahiro's handwriting. Everyone had heard Monokuma's proclamation, and they were gathered by the red door. And as soon as we were all there... What?
Appears!
Hello! Hello, hello! He's multiplied.
Wrong.
Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I'm moving so fast, it only looks like I've multiplied. Can you guys tell which one is the real Monokuma? Can we just get on the elevator already?
Boy, tough crowd.
Yeah, you're not playing along. Along.
Stop talking.
We're not here to play with you.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Hey,
Then, if everyone's here and ready to go, please board the pain train. Elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please.
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet.
what the heck?
You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're gonna pay for your sins.
What the heck?
I told you already, I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me, did you ever find the other costume? Or the notes? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. It would seem we have our culprits. Celeste, you are too pushy on this.
Hey.
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations when we get to the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's go down there first. Then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two that lost their lives. The one who killed Hifumi and Taka. The one who killed two of our friends. The killer is... someone right here. Alright, down the elevator we go. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began to walk toward the elevator. Once everyone was aboard, the doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. There's a lot less people on this elevator than there used to be. The clunking of the elevator kept us company as we fell further and further down. There was no going back. Until we settled all this, we couldn't go anywhere. I'm not sure how long it was before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator doors slid open, opening up onto a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize just how few of you there are left. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax.
Just the worst.
Only because of you. Why? Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other?
What?
What? Do you really hate me so much? But I'm so cute.
Come on.
Stop goofing around and begin the trial.
Don't rush me. Of course I'm gonna start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I never hounded you like that. Okay, let's begin. Get to your assigned seats.
And so the curtain opened once again. A deadly judgment, a deadly deception, a deadly betrayal. A deadly riddle, a deadly defense, a deadly faith. A deadly class trial.
Yes, please. Save the data.
What skills do I even have currently? I think I do have something. Focus gauge decreases more slowly during concentration. Fewer time effective during non-stop beta ham. Plus 5 SP. I'm enough for either of these, so handiwork. Alright, I think we're good. Oh, actually. Oh. Next time on Danganronpa. You could, I guess I could technically, but I'm not gonna do that. Fumi's glasses found his hammer. I never did figure out what this was about. Glasses, cleaning cloth, Celeste's account, Yasahiro's message, Robo Justice blueprint. And home maybe he's to escape. So that's the handwriting on that. And that's the handwriting on that. It looks very similar. Yeah, like, I'm looking at the eye. Like, the eye is drawn. It's very similar. Alright, finish prep. Let's go. Class trial. All rise.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate. Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hiro, but we do have evidence. Blueprints for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling.
Yes, but Celeste, when were you in that room?
It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know. I don't know.
Is Hiro really the killer? Or anything else? We have to make that clear. Alright, what do we got? Make your arguments. Alright, yes, here's a message.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are all proof enough that you are the culprit.
I don't know anything about that stuff. It's not true. It's a conspiracy.
Hiro, why? Why did you kill them?
No, just hold on a second.
Oh, wow. Look at the blueprints. That handwriting is awfully messy. If I remember right, Hiro's handwriting is...
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit part.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
Are we sure Hiro really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hiro wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
I don't think Yasahiro is smart enough to do that.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not I'm trying to change my handwriting anyway.
I was right!
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hiro's the culprit?
I do think Hiro's being framed.
And he's not the only one. I think Hiro is innocent as well.
What? Then who was in that Robo Justice suit? Is it like Hiro said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit. Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
And of course he passes it off to me. I don't know.
So? Who was in the Robo Justice suit?
Hina, Hiro. It wouldn't have been Hina. The What? What are these options? I don't know. I guess Hiro.
Other than Hiro, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit, and we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hiro is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hiro didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hiro was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that, there's something else we need to clarify first. So let's get that out of the way.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around!
All things have a proper order.
I kind of just get to click through in this section.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body.
Alright, that one we know.
It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
This one I do know. The things are used to move Taka's body. They must have been the blue tarp.
I got it!
There's still one more thing. So the tarp and the dolly.
I got it! They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with the attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room, and then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that, up until then, was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there, and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
This is the straightforward question, thankfully.
Okay, that explains the tarp. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they used the dolly to move the body, am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken?
How else? What else?
Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong. Nobody expects much from you anyway.
Oh, you gambler. You're betting on the wrong hand,
We
Celeste.
all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow. Never had anyone sound so nice while being so mean. Maybe I can change her mind. We can make it better. I just explained to them why the dolly must have been moved from the equipment room to the repository. I knew I'm going to add the bullet time battles. I'd like to hear more. Yes! Tell me! Let's talk about reloading. Alright. Starting with this next bullet time battle, we're going to add one more ingredient to the recipe. On the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo marker, you'll see your ammo count. Up until now, there hasn't really been a limit on how you destroy your opponent's statements. From now on, just locking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it will cost you 1 bullet to destroy a single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Just like locking on, you have to press the tab key in time for the tempo marker. Basically, just remember that the tab key now has a function along with the right mouse button and left mouse button. You automatically reload to start a fever time. Your ammo will not decrease. Oh, if your act difficulty is set to gentle, you don't have to reload at all. In which case, you can ignore everything I just said. Wonderful. Well then, good luck and have fun. Alright. The moment of truth.
You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch. You have it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
How do I get into fever time? What's the button? I've forgotten how to do this section.
You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst, you miserable wretch.
There we go.
I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
There we go.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
Celeste, you're tipping your hand too much. Jeez, does Celeste really hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer. If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
It can't bend at the waist. Look how the body was moved. It'll be clear why the person in the suit couldn't have done it. What does he mean by that? Make your argument. Load the bullet.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
That is true.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository, correct?
That is true.
The culprit wrapped the body in the tarp, then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
There's it.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
You can't bend in the suit, Hina.
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm blind as a bat in here. I can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised it got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, What's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
It's a pretty funny image, though. I like it.
It'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
You can't, though. There's a clasp. There's no chance that costume is taken off to move the body because you can't take it off by yourself.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember...
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help? Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid friggin' thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't really have a choice. Let's help him.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hiro wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
If he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hiro in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that? Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
I still am banking on the whole fucking simp accomplice sacrifice himself. How do you get hurt?
That guy hit me.
What guy?
Robo Justice. That's how I had to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individuals inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hiro, without a doubt.
Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
Man just like, please let me live.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it.
Monokuma?
Before we rush to a verdict, shouldn't we explore every single possibility? Instead of seizing on one viewpoint, the truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Sakura is so pragmatic. It's great.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moving around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the second floor. And soon after that...
I saw someone moving around on the third floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
And then...
Hifumi screamed. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been... Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
At that point, we decided to divide up into two groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office, while Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the third floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the three of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us, and she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating all this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository.
Celeste is involved in everything, man.
Which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation.
We're in a situation, that's for damn sure.
And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
The contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth of this case, I have to find them, no matter what. Alright. Bring it on.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
Actually,
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
are you sure about that? The Justice Hammers were numbered, but were they really used in that order?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in.
Come on, Makoto, don't scare me like that. You think something weird is going on.
Shoot!
I need to think about it one more time. There's a contradiction in there somewhere. What did I miss?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
I think I'm getting something wrong here.
Shoot!
I hit the...
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi.
What the... Okay, what's the button I'm looking for? There's a button to be like... Start a weak spot and then hold down the left mouse button. You can use that weak spot as temporary flash pull later in the argument. These flash pulls disappear as soon as you see them. Switch to another chip. Okay, that's how I do that.
Or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice...
There we go. Now I got it.
No, that's wrong.
I remembered. I didn't. I googled it. I checked the rules.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality, Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
We got Kiyotaka's watch. Evidence that proves Taka was killed before Hifumi. I know what it is. It's his watch. Hangman's Gambit. Alright, yeah, this one. I need another W. Give me an H. There, right there. There we go. Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Completo.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer. Because as of last night...
Hey, you! How long are you gonna keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice pierced the air as he stared pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those justice hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
I'm not sure about that one, Chief. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body.
That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know. They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on.
Maybe.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
He's trying his best.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room. And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing.
Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway.
Fair enough. Rock solid alibi right there. Hey, I didn't do it. That's my answer.
In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and Kyoko had disappeared, so they most certainly could have done those things.
So what now,
So
Kyoko?
what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking in particular. I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said,
We could not have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then they could be able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time. It would seem so.
his body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
This is going to be interesting.
What? How? If the dead body were to move itself.
Zombie Hifumi!
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another... ghost!
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
That it isn't possible.
Celeste? The idea that Hifumi was still alive, is it really possible? Make your argument.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
I'm sure the body discovery announcement was only made once. But Hifumi and Taka's body were discovered at almost exactly the same time.
Are Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
Nah, fuck, got it wrong. Your meaningless words tire me. Please stop wasting my time.
Shoot.
I fucked it up. I'm trying to figure this out.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
I don't know what to do here. I think I'm gonna have to end up restarting this.
When we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office,
The first same with the last one?
chance he was actually still alive?
No,
Thank you,
it
Dash.
is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Oh, wait, that was the
Are
last one.
we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
You lied, Dash. What does that have to do with what I said? You just not know what you're doing. Sakura says Hifumi was still alive, and Kyoko says something about the announcement. Damn.
Shoot.
Last one. I'm trying to help as well. Oh. This one's, I don't know, this one's weird.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
I do think there's something with this one, but I don't know where it is the thing.
Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually...
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
No, I fucked it up again. Damn it. Alright, we gotta restart this section now. Failed. Nobody believes me. No one wants to hear what I have to say.
Uh-oh, already come to the end of the debate. Well then, the class trial is officially adjourned. Now it's time to reveal who's the blackened. It would appear that the one with the most votes is Makoto! Excuse me? However, Makoto is not the blackened. Too bad. Looks the real killer gets to graduate. Congratulations to them! On the other hand, everyone else must now be punished.
Is this really the end for all of us?
What do you say? Want to give it another shot? Yes.
I refuse to give up yet.
Oh. We're back in the game. Where does it bring me back to is now my question. Alright.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
Oh, it's back wrong. I have to hold it, not click it. Damn it. Maybe you have some idea, but I don't understand at all.
Shoot.
Alright, let's just go.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
There we go.
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
I don't know if I can understand this. Wait, keep, so you keep the flashback bullets. Yeah, I can keep them, yeah?
Shoot.
Oh, and maybe something at the end need to be used at the beginning instead of something at the beginning at the end?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible.
I can
was
try
dead,
that, yeah.
without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
There we go.
No, that's wrong.
Thank you, Dash.
Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
Let's go!
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we've made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if two bodies had been found, there really should have been two announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
But we did get a second one after, is the thing.
What do you say, Monokuma? Any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty.
Huh?
He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time, which means even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Oh, Jill was asleep at the time.
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first time it played when we found each body in the nurse's office in the equipment room. And the second time is when both bodies were rediscovered.
Got it! We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the two bodies.
A body has been discovered! After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, the class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
Then in reality, when the two dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom! That is the worst logic I have ever heard.
I mean, she's a murderer, but she's got a point.
But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Oh no, there is.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
There has to be proof that shows Hifumi was still alive. I have to find it and show it to everyone. Oh, I know what it is. Make your argument. Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned...
What do you mean? God damn it. She's gonna be a line right after that.
Well, here's one thing. The first time we found Hifumi's
Chipmunk!
his body disappeared.
And the next time, it was in the...
But when you compare his body before, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
There we go. Got it.
No, that's wrong.
Literally just the second half of that scene. Break!
In fact, there was one clear difference between Hifumi in the nurse's office and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
The evidence found in the trash can in the nurse's office was this cleaning cloth.
I got it! It was a glasses cleaning cloth featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean. And the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piggles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tacky piece of garbage like that.
You know what? I believe you, Byakuya.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Yeah, I believe that one too.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
Then it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead. What was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
Magenta paint is hard to get. I see. Yeah, it's been a very confusing chapter.
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
How's your night going, Smitty? I'm always happy to see you, man.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out, so he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
The one who moved Taka's body was Hifumi.
I got it! It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked?
Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right?
Going well, other than my mind going all over the place. Yeah, that happens sometimes. The mind is a fickle thing that wanders where it wishes to wander, and not where you ask it to go.
So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
I'm trying to do some writing, but brain won't cooperate. That is a fucking mood. Oh my god. Sometimes like I sit down and like, yes, keep. This is where we do writing stuff. And then I don't do it, because my brain is just like, what if we do this other thing? What if we make a new deck in Master Duels? What if we just chill and relax and go dead brain because we're tired? Like, what if I do work on a completely different project that I'm just like, okay, I want to do this one, but it's not the thing I need to get done at the moment?
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Yeah, it's a big mood, Smitty. I hope the writer's block / brain jumping around gets seen too soon. It's just not fun to deal with.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed.
Not so much writer's block, but writer's fear? I've never heard of writer's fear. You have to explain that one to me, Smitty.
You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
And that Hifumi stole from Taka. Could it be? I mean, there's... the note Hifumi had.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Of course Jill would like that.
Yes, his pants.
His pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found a hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
Ah, that's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said...
Writer's fear is the opposite of writer's block. Instead of struggling to come up with anything to make any progress, you have too many ideas hitting you all at once, and your brain won't settle on any one of them. Oh, okay.
Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I didn't know there was a word for that. Like a bouncy ball. Okay. Yeah, that one makes sense. That's just, I've never heard of that before. Oh, well, in that case, I had to write them all down in my notes to focus on them one by one to make a choice. Okay.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
Separate them with a piece of paper, and your brain has no choice but to focus. Yeah, that could be a way. That could be something you could do. I've never tried it. I've never had to really deal with writer's sphere. I had writer's block plenty of times. Writer's sphere is a new concept.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro.
I try, but there's only so much I can do, and I still don't make any progress on what I sat down to work on. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have any advice on the topic, but hey, fair. It is very fair. That's writing struggles.
And that person could only have been...
Hifumi's pants. No, it was Taka.
Got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy!
TikTok and Huffy. I do love the nicknames that Jill gives people.
Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and... Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary. But still, I can't let her get to me. Make your argument. Okay.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
Oh wait, no, I can't use a wristwatch on that one. Time was at 6 a.m. What happened at 6 a.m.? That's what I need to clear up. Alright, now.
The note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
There we go. Yes, it does.
No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. We've already proven that using his wristwatch. But there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that... No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka, just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster, telling people they found a way out.
I mean, death is a way out, technically. I guess.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it?
He took it.
Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely, Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
Proof to whom we stole the note from Taka. Where is it to? The scrap of paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it!
Yeah, it
It
fits.
fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
Then Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from his death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
Yes, you did, Sakura.
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
You're jumping the gun a little bit there, Yasahiro.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
You probably bled out.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were to— Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus!
Walrus? That's different.
Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, when they were killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain knocking around that skull of yours after all.
Absolutely savage. Wait, is Yasahiro actually mustering brain power to participate in the investigation? He's doing it! He's getting a spark from rubbing those two brain cells together.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
I mean, there was a washed hammer, but where would they have washed it?
The Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue. So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Number 1.
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then,
We gotta figure this out. Come on, Hina.
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
That one hammer. The weapon that was actually used to kill Hifumi. The whole picture surrounding this case won't become clear until we figure that out. Somehow I have to find the truth. Make your argument. A spotless hammer.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
It probably is just that one.
Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
/hammer time.
One thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Nope.
And, that's about it.
Anything can be lethal with the right application. A grain of sand at the right velocity can do the same damage as a bullet. What was it? I think there was like... I think it was in one of the Aragon books where they made a comment of, all I have to do is make the stone super hot and it will burn through your body. Is that like a stone or a grain of sand? Where it's like, yeah, sure, it's not having the velocity of a bullet, but it's kind of the same thing of like, hey, I can make this very lethal. Like, anything can be lethal. If it was killed in the repository, right? So if the weapons used to kill both of them were actually similar...
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Spotless hammer. Maybe you have some idea. I don't understand it all.
Shoot.
Alright. Try it again.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
Well, whatever it, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move? How did nobody witness them carrying it?
Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Where do I bring this up? Like, there is a spotless hammer. I have no idea what you're talking about, but I want to stab your seriously adorable serious face off. What? I want to stab your seriously adorable serious face off.
Shoot.
Okay.
What was used to kill Hifumi?
Was it maybe Justice? Well, there's one. How was the culprit? How did nobody? Sounds like a Justice. Check out murdergear.com.
Well, one thing's the murder weapon had to be one of the Justice.
No.
No, that's wrong.
Break!
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of grit and debris. But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean.
Huh?
And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off.
Keep stream, yes, yes. Hello, LD, welcome to the chat. We are like at the end of chapter 3 of Danganronpa, and we're getting all of our brain cells together to figure out who killed Hifumi and Taka.
I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones.
Hi, ooh. Hello, LD. Always happy to see you stopping by. Do you know anything about Danganronpa, or are you just stopping in to say hi?
And even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma Files note about the wounds being similar.
Wait, you actually have brain cells? I'm sorry for your loss.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
And whoever did that is the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work together like that is simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
Yes, but Celeste, remember, Hifumi is a simp. The one day I actually need my brain cell, I don't have it. I think I lost it. Poor went out for the lost brain cell. You know, all the pouring ones out are probably why I don't have many brain cells left at this point. The university drinking sprees took it out of me. At least that's what we thought at first, but... Make your argument. Okay.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us,
Even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Could we really say there's no chance two people work together on this?
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people.
That is.
But that only really applies if there's one murder. In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually, assuming the rule holds true.
There we go, 2 murders.
No, that's wrong.
7 sippies. I have taken 7 sippies.
Since there were 2 murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you.
Nope.
However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that 2 people could act as each other's accomplices to commit 2 separate murders.
But Hifumi got betrayed.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. And based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating 2 separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look.
The tune of Bodies by Drowning Pool. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count to 4. I can only count 4. I've seen that. That's a good one. I don't want to have thoughts. Hello, do you have a moment to talk about our Lord and Savior, Almighty Brain Cell?
A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies. By creating one seamless set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along with their plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice.
I mean, it works.
Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
That's just awful. How could anyone be so cruel?
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
It's because he's a simp, Byakuya. Hifumi was simping. Ever made to convince us the 2 murders were the same. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noted the fact from the very beginning, which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved, but then who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
You know exactly who, Sakura.
That's problem numero uno right now.
The true killer manipulated Hifumi to carry out a number of actions, and in the end, murdered him. In the debates up till now, the way the case has unfolded, we consider all that, there's only one person seems to fit. It was me. No. Where are you two? Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious individual now, am I?
You always were.
I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
You have been.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit for brains, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot!
Oh, her voice changed.
Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
What it is that only Hifumi and Celeste had in common? The suspicious individual.
I got it! The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Excuse me?
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual. If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
It's possible.
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct? And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
I saw a shadow, something moving around at the top of the stairs.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
Celeste, what's wrong? That was a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was blocking the stairs, so he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Hifumi scream. Huh? What was that? That came from downstairs. It must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. I've had to read that scene so many
Divide
times.
into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Very well. Then Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I will leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor, everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
Oh, she's backed into a corner.
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead,
I certainly was not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered.
Celeste's surprise / shock face is kind of
You
funny.
wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
Is that not really her surprise face? I don't know which face are you talking about with her surprise one? Cause I've seen the one where like she has like really wide eyes and like leans towards the camera. Is that the one you're talking about?
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait, then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
I think so. Okay.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed. Wouldn't you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Oh, she's denying it.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but
Oh.
looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
Oh, I know what it was.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're going to die, just like those guys died.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed, so Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead.
Oh, I didn't even catch that one. Men discovered Taka's body before then, did they?
Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
No, what they're saying here is like, we didn't tell them about Taka's death yet, but Celeste already knew about it.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
The answer that Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. What is he alluding to?